I purposely pass up on advanced screenings just because
Yeah.
I want to see it opening day.
Because you feel like like when you see it like with the as an advanced screening, do you still feel like, okay, I'm in movie critic mode? Whereas if you see like if you see it like on opening night with everybody else, you still see that anticipation. Everybody else kind of giddy. Like,
yeah,
oh my God,
because when it's an advanced screening, a lot of times it is predicated that you're gonna get a review out the next day about that film, and that to get people hyped to go see it. You know what I mean? But it's just different just to be able to just, go with my friends. Sometimes we'll have like a movie get together where we'll go eat dinner beforehand, and we'll just go as like a big group, like 15, 20 of us, and just go watch and just have a good time. You know what I mean? And then we can be out of the movie. We can kind of talk about it, what we liked, what we didn't like, that kind of stuff. And advanced screening, sometimes I don't get that. You know what I mean? It's usually just me or me and my wife or me and one or two other people that I invited. You know what I mean? And then, that's it. So.
No, but that's cool though. See those advanced screenings, and then what are some of the other perks that come along with you being a film critic? The things that you say, oh yeah, this is what this is my shit right here.
Yeah, well, I get the advanced screenings, but I also get a lot of really cool swag as well. So I do a lot of unboxing videos, so a lot of just movie swag stuff like that. So it's always fun just to kind of do those unboxing videos and stuff like that. So you just they send me stuff in the mail, I get to unbox it, and if I love it, I can keep it. If not, I can obviously regift it or use it as a raffle or something of that nature. So that's another one of the perks you get. Not so much financially with being a film critic per se. I do get a little bit of hits just from my being a social media influencer. So I do get paid from like Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that for the reviews themselves. But more it's just about the perks getting into like the advanced screenings. I get invites sometimes to award shows down in LA and stuff like that. And I haven't had a whole lot of time to just get down there and take them up on some of those offers.
But the fact that you got it,
but that's something I do want to do in the future a little bit more once things kind of slow down for me a little bit. Started going down to LA and watching some of the awards and stuff around the award season. But I did go down to LA to see an advanced screening of the Tyler Perry movie when that first came out, his documentary film.
Oh, okay.
So I did get a chance to see that, and he was supposedly in the audience. I didn't see him. So Oprah was supposedly in the audience, but I didn't see her either. But that was really cool. But his baby mama is the one that produced the film or whatever, and so we got to meet her and stuff like that, and it was a really cool event and affair. So
cool. And then how much does social media play a role with you being a film critic?
Huge role. I mean, I was probably, so when I started, I built up an audience just based off my reviews. I was just like a freelancer basically. And so what happened was is my audience grew off of that. People gravitated to my reviews or whatever case may be. And so my audience started growing on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all the other TikTok now, I guess, and all the other little entities. And marketing companies started coming to me. So that's how I started getting advanced screenings and things of that nature. And then film critic organizations, started reaching out and saying, hey, I think you'd be a great candidate for the African American Film Critics Association. I think you'd be a great candidate for, the Hollywood Creative Alliance, and oh yeah, I'd love to apply for that. You know what I mean? And so you got to pay your dues and you get in, but like I said, you get those advanced screenings, you get, sometimes you do get some cool swag, stuff like that. And you do get opportunities where, I haven't done it this year yet because I've just been so busy, but I know with the African American Film Critics Association, a lot of times they do panels with the actual actors and stuff like that. So like last year, the Holdovers, or the year before actually, Holdovers with Paul Giamatti.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I got an opportunity to actually sit in that panel and ask questions of like Paul Giamatti and some of the actors of the film and stuff like that. So you get some cool stuff like that. So just to kind of just feel like you're kind of like, that 2 degrees of separation or whatever, being able to talk to, some famous actors and stuff like that. So.
Okay, cool. Interesting. Yeah, because I feel like social media is just one of those things, like from an actor standpoint, it's really starting to become more pertinent to be on social media, to have this social media
you kind of have to. I don't care what entity, not just actor, musicians, comedians. I feel like that's really where you're going to make your brand. Because if people are feeling you on social media, that can open up way more doors for you. It opened up doors for me just being on it from just for the film critic stuff. So if you're like a comedian and you're on social media and you start blowing up just off your comedy skits or whatever case may be, that's going to open up doors to get you into some venues or maybe get your own special or something of that nature. Musicians, same thing. And people see like, oh man, you've got 100,000 followers for your music, and like we'd love to have you at our next venue and play our next show and stuff like that. Social media is also how I found a lot of the people that are going to be at my mixer. You know what I mean? Like just on social media and saying, oh, I see this guy's, I see Jakari's always out there putting out new content, new music, or I see Lab Rats are doing shows like all over the city. I want to go check out one of their shows. And so it just kind of goes hand in hand with just like giving you more exposure, I feel like.
Okay, cool. And then so like when it comes to being a film critic, what was the question I was about to ask you? It has something to be a film critic. I can't remember. All right, well, skip that question. We'll go to the next question, stuff like that. I forget. But oh yeah, so now like swinging back to like with the film festival and stuff like that, what is it that motivated you to say, okay, I watched enough movies and stuff like that, I feel now I have enough knowledge to now take being a film critic, and now I'm a throw a festival for people to watch these what I would consider quality movies?
Yeah, it's interesting because I was doing movie reviews at a partner, Jason, and he still works with me in my organization. And so we would do movie reviews and stuff like that. And so it was actually another film festival. It was an online film festival that reached out to us back east. And so a lot of people think that I got inspiration from somebody here locally, but no, it was actually an online film festival back east that reached out to us and said, hey, we really like what you guys are doing online. We would love for you guys to review some of the films that we have at our festival, and then maybe have those individuals on your show and talk with them. And so that's what we would do. We would watch those films at the festival. We'd have them on our show. We would talk with them. But the issue I was having is a lot of times people were like, oh, well, how can we watch this film, or whatever case may be. And sometimes it was on the online film festival. But then we also had local people that were contacting us and wanting us to watch their films. And we would watch it, and then people would say the same thing. Well, where can we watch, Buddy's new film? Well, I don't know. It's on YouTube, or it was on here. It was, well, he sent me a screener. So, you know what I mean? So I just came up with the idea. I'm just like, you know what? Why don't we just do our own film festival? And that way local people here, if they're interested, they can just submit to the festival. And if your film's good enough, we'll play it at the festival, and then everybody can watch it. You know what I mean? You don't have to tell people where they can go. They can go to SacTown Movie Buff Film Fest, and they can watch it there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where that idea kind of stemmed from.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I remember the question now. So as far as like with being like a film critic, like actors or any other type of people, like we have like filmmakers, we have like mentors, people that we go to like to train or like learn from, get advice from and stuff like that. Is there somebody like that in the in like the movie critic world where you have like mentor, somebody says, oh, here's the proper way to critique a movie? Or
I mean, there's not so much a mentor, but I mean, there's obviously, I grew up in the day watching, Siskel and Ebert or Siskel and Roper, or Ebert and Roper, I guess later in the years, and Leonard Maltin. So I came from that old school, like, critic style. But for me, really, I just kind of branded it and made it my own, because I found that like doing like really long written reviews on films, or spending 5-10 minutes talking about a film, your audience just kind of loses you a little bit. So I personally came up with the idea like, well, let me just keep my reviews like a minute and a half, really, really short written reviews, give you a brief synopsis of the film, tell you what, I liked it or not. And that's pretty much all you need to do. And so I really didn't have a mentor that told me to do it that way. It was just from trial and error, figuring out, okay, what's really giving me the most hits online. And I just found like shorter was giving me more hits than sitting there talking about a movie that I love for 15 minutes, because nobody really wants to hear that. They just want to hear like, okay, did you like it or not? You know what I mean? So, and then, I don't want to give too much away about the movie either. I just want you to go see it for yourself. Just like, hey, here's the brief synopsis. This guy, he lost his wife and he's trying to find her, or whatever case may be. I really enjoyed it. You should go check it out. And that's, and that I think that's enough for people to say, you know what, I am going to go watch this movie.